Was Work It worth it? Did they work it? Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it? Hmm? Hmm? What's good, Silver Squad? RJ here from the Silver Site, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Netflix original film Work It, which stars Sabrina Carpenter, Liza Koshy, Jordan Fisher, and Kenyon Lonsdale, and is directed by Laura Taruso. Now, I have to say, I did actually enjoy this movie. I'm not really a rom-com dance movie kind of guy, but this did have my attention. I love misfit underdog movies, and although this movie was predictable, I did find myself invested. Work It is centered around Quinn Ackerman, played by Sabrina Carpenter, who was applying for admissions into Duke University, but during her interview, she ends up leading the admissions counselor to believe that she is a part of the school's award-winning dance team, and then shenanigans ensue. There was a lot that I did like about this movie. I want to start with the pros first. One thing I liked about this movie was probably the on-screen chemistry between Jordan Fisher and Sabrina Carpenter's characters. The only I really wish I could have seen them actually build up to a relationship instead of a couple of interactions and then boom, we're together. But I did like the chemistry between those two. The comedy in this movie was really well placed and appropriate. All the jokes didn't hit for me, but that's why I like it. They didn't stick to one type of humor. Liza Koshy is hilarious. I knew she was a content creator and a YouTuber before, but I never followed her, so I really didn't have too much information to go off of on her. Other than that, I had seen her in that Anthony Ramos from Hamilton. He had a music video and she was in that, so I knew she was talented. She was a talented dancer, but her comedic performance in this film was probably my favorite part of this movie. She is definitely a scene stealer, and I can't wait to see more of her acting wise. I really also like the realistic nature of how good the team actually got. A lot of these movies tend to do a few montages with the ragtag misfit team, and then all of a sudden they have the same skill level as their rivals, which often makes no sense to me. So I really did appreciate the fact that they still weren't the best, although they did improve. The final number for me, you know, these dance movies always have a final number where everybody comes together and they dance and stuff like that, or the final dance competition number. We've been, you know, seeing this type of movie since You Got Served and probably before that. But the final number to me was really fun. Was it the best dancing? Probably not, but it was consistent with the team's, you know, scripted abilities. So I really did enjoy the movie in that aspect, that they didn't treat the audience like we were dumb. We knew these weren't the best dancers. We knew that they were a ragtag, misfit, long shot team, and that's what we got from start to finish. And I really did appreciate the fact that they kept this grounded in somewhat of reality. Now, although there was a lot of things I did like about this movie, there were a few things that I didn't really, you know, care for in this movie. One thing I wish they would have done with the other members of the dance crew was give them a little bit more personality. We did get one flat character trait for each person. We really didn't get any depth into anyone else. We didn't really learn who anyone was. I mean, standard definition of a side or background character, that's just what they were. Everyone seemed to have one special talent, which is why they were scouted originally, but nobody really ever got to shine with this talent that they so-called, you know, were recruited for. I mean, we did get one flip, but nothing else extra or out of the ordinary happened with any of these people with these skill sets that got recruited. Another thing I really didn't care for was the antagonist, and not to say that the performance from Kenyon wasn't, you know, up to par, but I did think he did a really good job. But I didn't really care for the way the antagonist was written to be this basic mean girl villain with two girls who accompanied him that really didn't, you know, two henchwomen that accompanied him that didn't really add much to the film outside of being ditzy henchwomen, which I just found to be really boring. If you're gonna be a villain, be a layered villain, and that was my problem with that. Was not the performance, but solely, you know, the fact that we really didn't get any kind of depth to the villain. He was just a jerk. I wish we'd have gotten like more backstory. Maybe something was going on at home. Maybe like give him a reason as to why he is the way he is. I don't know. It just would seem really flat and one-dimensional to me. Sometimes I also wish they would have followed up on a few things a little more. I felt like certain things were blatant plot devices, but they I don't know, they just felt like they weren't really consistent. There was a scene where Jake got hurt briefly, and, you know, he was literally doing the simplest move and ended up getting hurt. And like, are his tendons now made of Twizzlers? And then later on in the movie, he's doing these hard ass, you know, dance moves like his legs weren't made of pretzels 10 minutes ago. It didn't make any sense. Also, one thing that I really which is kind of on was the fact that she started out as president of the AV Club and it didn't come into play ever again. I was thinking that they were going to go somewhere with the whole Illuminator thing and they never did, which was just odd to me. I felt like her being in the AV booth, at the wrong place at the wrong time was simply just used as the plot device just to make everything fall in place. It's almost like it was just she was in the AV Club for that, just to be the first domino as to why all the events of the movie occurred. But it was just weird to me. I just wish they would have followed up on her being this academic, studious person. I don't know, but those are just mild inconveniences. I mean, mild inconsistencies, but not enough to make me not like this movie. I definitely enjoyed watching this movie. I didn't think I wasted my time at all. I will say to go into this movie with an open mind, go into this not expecting some amazing cinematic masterpiece, because it's not. It's a good movie where you can sit down and enjoy it and have a good time, have a few laughs, enjoy the dancing, some of the dancing. But other than that, I really enjoyed all the performances in this. Sabrina Carpenter absolutely killed it as Quinn. I really enjoyed her bad dancing, and I enjoyed her good dancing. I enjoyed Jordan Fisher as Takoshi. Definitely recommend this movie. All right, guys. So those are my thoughts on the Netflix original film Work It. Let me know if you thought Worked It. See what I did again? No. All right. Later, guys.